Hello everyone, this is Favoured Favour once again on your screen. How are you all doing today? I hope you're all doing well. So today we'll be talking about how to choose a good country for relocation or for migration. I know you want to travel. I really know you want to make that move, go out there and make a good life for yourself. I know that, but I need you to consider all of these steps so that you can be able to determine if that country you want to go to is a good place for you, because I wouldn't want you to travel to somewhere and at the end of the day you are frustrated, or maybe you are still looking for somewhere else to go and you have already wasted money, wasted resources, wasted your time and all of that. But yeah, if you are able to consider all of these things I'm going to talk to you about today, you'll be able to determine if that place you are going to is a good place for you. So the number one thing is you have to check, or you have to make a lot of research and know the minimum wage of that country you want to go to, right? So you need to know this particular place, how do they pay, how much is their minimum wage, so that you wouldn't go there and you put in a lot of effort into working and at the end of the day you are making peanuts. You need to know their method of payments. Do they pay monthly? Do they pay weekly? Do they pay per hour? And all of that. When you are able to determine all of these things, it will help you to determine if this particular place is worth it or what you putting in energy into. Then another thing you need to consider, but before then, if you haven't liked this video, please do well to like it. When you like the video, the algorithm will be able to push it to other viewers so that they can be informed. So the next thing you need to know is you need to check, do they have availability of multiple jobs in that country, right? You need to know the kind of jobs they have in that country. Is it somewhere that they only focus on healthcare, and if you are not health inclined, that means you are going to struggle in that country, right? You need to know, do they have multiple job offers and multiple job opportunities in that country? You need to know all of these things so that it can prepare you. You can be able to be prepared in terms of going to that place, right? You need to check all of these things, make your research. Don't just go blindly to any country, maybe because you feel you are desperate and all of that. It will not help you at the end of the day. Those who have rushed to a particular place are also trying to rush out, right? So before you move to any place, make a lot of research so that you can know if this place is worth your time and energy. Then the next thing, or the next factor you need to consider if you are thinking about relocating to any country, or like, these are the things you need to choose, or you need to see to be able to say, okay, this place is a good place for me to travel to. You need to know what are the immigration laws of that country. So this particular place I want to travel to, if I travel to this place, what are their immigration laws? Do they have pathways for me to be able to settle in this country? Do they have pathways that are relaxed for me to be able to have a good life over there? Or is it somewhere I will go to and at the end of the day, if you commit any crime, maybe you overspeed and all of that, maybe while driving, they will lock you up, you go to jail and all of that. Are their laws so strict? Are their laws so rigid? Do they, like, what kind of laws do they have there, or do they practice over there? You need to consider all of those things, and it will help you to determine if this place is a good place for you to go to and if it is not a good place to go to, right? So another thing you need to know to be able to choose a particular place or a good place to travel to, you need to know, or you need to make a lot of research concerning their economy. You need to travel to a place that have stable economy. Before I came to Germany, I made a lot of research. I spent 3 years in Russia. If you are seeing my face or coming across my page or my channel for the first time, I have lived in Russia. I lived 3 years in Russia, and I can tell you, before I left Russia to come to Germany, I made a lot of research and I discovered that Germany is number one in Europe. Their economy is so standard, even they are so strong that they're the ones helping some of the other European countries. That is to tell you how stable they are, that no matter the inflation going on in the world, you are very sure that that particular place you are going to, you are not going to start begging for bread, right? you are not going to start begging for bread. So you need to go to a place you know that their economy is so stable. You need to know that, you need to make that research and be able to know if this place you want to go to, their economy is so stable. So another thing you need to consider to be able to choose a good place to go to is you need to check their education standard. If you are someone trying to migrate through study route, or maybe you have a family that your children will have to go to school and all of that, you have to make research concerning their educational standard. Do they have quality education in this country? If you graduate from this place, will the certificates be recognized, or at the end of the day you will still be as someone who didn't study and all of that? You have to check this particular country you want to travel to, like, do they have renowned universities, their quality of education, how is it compared to the world class and all of that. You have to consider all of that before you can be able to say, okay, this is a good place for me to go to. Almost all the countries in the world are good, right? But there are ones that are better than each other, so than the other, right? So you need to know all of these things to be able to say, okay, this place is better, let me channel my energy into this particular place. Then another thing you need to consider before moving to any particular country is the healthcare system. You need to know what is the healthcare standard of this country. I know we are not praying to be sick, God have healed us and nobody is praying for sickness and all of that, but you need to think ahead. What is the healthcare system in this country? We are not praying for evil, right? But what about the good part of it? Like you delivering, as I am a lady right now, maybe I get pregnant and I want to deliver. What is the standard of their healthcare? Is it something that someone will be frustrated before they attend to him or her and all of that? You need to make sure that that particular place you are traveling to, that they have a standard healthcare, and somewhere that is also affordable, because there are some countries that they have standard health care, but they are so expensive that even if you are living in that country, you might even prefer to die before, like, instead of going to the hospital, because at the end of the day you will have a lot of bills to pay. But we are not praying for that. So you need to consider the healthcare system of that country before you move there. Then another thing you have to consider before moving to any country, or for you to determine if this is a good place to move to, is the climate, right? Like the weather. I know you want to leave your country, I know you want to make that move. Everybody is traveling abroad. Yes, I am enjoying it. I want you to also enjoy it and travel, but you need to consider the weather or the climate of the country you are going to. I have lived in Russia and I can tell you, my first winter in Russia, I was sneezing out blood. I know it doesn't sound funny, but I was sneezing out blood. That is to tell you how cold this country is. Like, Russia is one of the coldest countries in the world. You can make your research, but I wasn't prepared for it. I didn't know, like, that was my first abroad, my first travel. I haven't left Nigeria until I traveled to Russia, and my luck, I think I was even lucky that I got there during the summer period. Assuming I dived into the winter, I think it would have been so drastic. So I got in during the summer period, and before you know it, the winter came, and I think my body couldn't contain it. Once I come out, I'm already having running nose, and if I sneeze, I am sneezing out blood and all of that. So you need to check for the climate of that particular country you are going to, so that you can be prepared. Is this something your body can carry, or is this something you cannot cope with? A lot of us have individual body capacities and all of that. You need to know what is applicable to you. I traveled to US. I know everybody wants to go to US, right? But you can't believe it, when I traveled to US last year, I spent 5 weeks in US, but I was in different cities. I was in New York, I was in New Jersey, I was in Houston, I was in Dallas, but the major place I spent my holiday was in Houston. And I traveled during August. It was so hot, really hot. August down to September, it was extremely hot in Houston, hotter than Nigeria. I was always asking my host, what the hell is happening here? I am so hot. I am feeling really hot. You know, I was always having my shower. We have to be like the AC have to be on in the house, in the car, and all of that. That is to tell you how hot this place is. I even made my conclusions that if I'm traveling to Houston once again, except I'm going for something really serious, if I'm traveling to Houston, I have to travel during their winter period, so that I can go there when it is not as hot as it was when I traveled last year. So that is to tell you that different countries have their different weather and different seasons. So you need to know exactly the kind of weather of the country you are going to, so that you can know if this is a good place for you. I know individual differences. People might prefer cold place, hot place, and all of that, but you know what you want. Go for it, right? Make your research and you can be able to determine if this place is a good place for you, because it might be good for some people. People are in Houston and they're enjoying it, but for me it was so hot, right? So you need to determine what works for you when you make your research. Then the last point that I have to let you know, or you have to consider when choosing a country to relocate, is your long-term goals. We are individuals and we have our dreams, we have our ambitions, we know what we want per time and all of that. So you have to know what is your long-term goal, and you have to also consider that when thinking of relocating to a particular country. I spent 3 years in Russia, but I knew that 5 years from now I'm not seeing myself in that country, because when it comes to my goals and my dreams, I wasn't seeing it there, and that is what prompted me to relocate. So for you not to be in that category of people who will go to a country, spend 5 years, spend 10 years, now they know they are not satisfied, they have to move. Don't be like that, right? You have all the information on the internet right now. Why not make the decision or move to a place once and for all, so that you can be able to achieve your dreams faster? Because when you are moving from one place to the other, moving from here to here, you know, time is going and a lot of things are also playing out, right? So you have to consider all of these factors I have mentioned, and that is how you can be able to determine if this place is a good catch for you. I mentioned minimum wage, I mentioned availability of multiple kind of jobs, I mentioned immigration law, try to know the immigration laws of the country, I mentioned like the educational standard, healthcare standard. I also mentioned like you looking into the stable economy and the economy of the country, also look into the standard of living, right? Also look into that, and the climate and your personal goals and ambitions, like your long-term goals. Try to also consider all of this before you can say this is a good place for me to go to, and you can be able to say, yes, I am making this decision with my full chest, and when I go there I know I'm going to get what I want, so that at the end of the day you wouldn't be frustrated, right? So I remain your favorite favor once again. So if you haven't subscribed or followed my page, please do well to subscribe, hit the like button, turn on the notification bell, so that anytime I upload all these amazing videos, you'll be among the first to be notified, and you can be able to get value from this from my channel, because I am out here to make it easy for you. I'm here to give you all the information you need for those who want to travel abroad, right? Until my next video, love you, stay blessed, bye.